Hello and welcome to another Bing and Bong drama update.
From me, Bing.
And me, Bong, your favourite Amdram reporters with an exclusive College Players special report.
Yes, if the cancellation of the Panto wasn't bad enough, we can now reveal that the next College Players production has been put on ice.
They're performing it on ice? It'll end in a disaster.
No, Bong, the show's been cancelled. Naturally, the cast members are devastated, so we're going to catch up with them and see what they've been up to.
Instead of being upstaged, they've all been unstaged.
But for the viewers, it's so much more than that, isn't it, Bong?
Yes, it is, Bing. It's an insight into their world without drama. Your favourite Amdram regulars as you've never seen them before.
So let the secrets spill out. Let's go over now to Bill. Hello, Bill. It must be strange to be unable to do drama for so long. What have you been up to instead? Have you got any new hobbies or stories to share with us?
Well, funny you should say that, Bing, but I've been watching a lot of cricket. One-day internationals, test matches, that sort of thing, you know. And it's rekindled my love of the game. So I thought I'd take myself and see if the local team were having a knockabout in the nets. I think outdoor sport's allowed, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'd shout out a bit of advice from the sidelines, like, bat and pad together, block it, use your thick edge, aim for his googlies, that sort of thing, you know. I used to do a bit of coaching years ago. I should say here, when I say coaching, I mean coach driver. I used to drive the team in the minibus to their away matches. Anyway, I thought I'd take a stroll over to the park this morning with the dog. Funny that, you see, because I haven't got a dog. And when I got there, I was amazed to see that there was a lake where the cricket pitch used to be. Yes, that's right, a lake. It just appeared overnight. How did it get there? I mean, one day there's a cricket pitch, the next day there's a lake. The dog, well, he ran into the water, splashed about a bit, and when he came out, he shook himself all over me. And it's not even my dog. Admittedly, we did get a bit of rain overnight, but not a whole lake worth. I blame the lack of worms, and no tunnels for the rainwater to drain away in, and also the explosion in the population of blackbirds and robins. And the old boy at number 46, whose garden backs onto the ground near the pavilion. You know, he's put up 5 feeders and he's put another 3 nest boxes up in his garden. He's also grown a patch of weeds around a washing up bowl which he's sunk into his lawn to create a miniature pond. Well, I blame his irresponsible actions for upsetting the very delicate balance of nature and causing havoc with this season's cricket fixtures. He should be ashamed of himself. Shame on you, number 46.
Oh dear. Who else have we got online? Any more sports stories?
We've got Bob.
Dame Bob? Well, he's not a sportsman, is he?
Well, let's put him on and find out. Hello, Bob. What's your game when you're not playing the dame?
Hello, Bong. I've got small balls with dimples on. That's right, I'm a golfer. Yeah, when I'm not waiting in the green room to go on stage, you can find me on the greens waiting to tee off down the fairway. I've exchanged Shakespeare's odes and sonnets for eagles and birdies. I've got a fine swing. It's the talk of the clubhouse. Honest it is. I got it at the garden centre last year. Half price, end of range. They even threw in some padded seats. They can't believe it. They are so jealous. And as for my driving, well, I'm a great driver. I've had a clean driving licence for years.
Congratulations. Thank you for sharing that with us, Bob. Who's next?
Who, indeed? I think it must be Paul, but who can tell?
Exterminate! Exterminate! How do you know it was me? Well, what have I been doing since lockdown? That was the question. I think you'll be impressed, actually. You see, now, as you know, I don't really sing, so don't laugh. I thought I would take up singing lessons, learn a little bit more about it, so maybe I can learn to read a musical score and maybe sometime in the future take part in some actual musicals. So I thought, why not? Let's learn a little bit more about it. Well, that was the plan anyway, but it didn't quite work out like that. You see, I went to type in singing, but I mistyped and hit the W at the same time as the S, so I ended up typing swinging. I hit the link that was most local and ended up FaceTiming a lovely middle-aged couple. He asked me about my experience and she wanted to know if I was interested in joining a group or a one-to-one or if I planned on coming solo. Well, I admit I was a complete novice and said that I'd be coming alone, and frankly I'd prefer one-to-one if that was okay. She said it was absolutely fine and that she'd give me some special attention and that maybe her husband would join in later if that was okay. Well, I said I was all right with that because having a duet would give me a little bit more confidence. I said, I didn't even know what a crotchet was. Well, she said she could help me with that and invited me over to her place. I mean, just to the doorstep, just to, make sure that I was okay and happy to go ahead with it. Well, when I got over there, the penny soon dropped, as did everything else. Even socially distanced on the doorstep, I saw a crotchet. Gave me a semi-quaver. She said I didn't need to be a soloist anymore. I could soon be moving on to double bass. And if I've got enough stamina, I could be a tenor within a week. And I've got a whole new take on Rule of Six.
That sounds really interesting, Paul. And it's local, you say?
Probably the Thompsons from the Avenue. They're well known in those circles, apparently. Not that I'd know. I read it somewhere, or Sue told me. That's it, Sue told me.
Sue? Hannah's mum, Sue?
Yeah.
Well, I never. But how does she know?
Well, I don't know. Anyway, you didn't hear it from me. Who's next?
It's Hannah. Hello, Hannah. Does she know her mum's a...
No! Hi, Hannah! How are you? What have you been up to? No singing lessons, I hope?
No, nothing like that. You're not going to believe it, but my scripts and pom-poms are upstairs gathering dust and I've taken up gardening instead. Well, not real gardening, but growing things. I was watching something on the TV about food and they were saying how fresh is best and how everybody should try to grow their own because it's so much better than what you try in supermarkets. So I'm giving it a go. They said to grow something that you really like to eat, so I'm growing spaghetti. I managed to get some seeds online from a guy in Nigeria. They weren't cheap, mind, £20 each or 4 for 100. So I ordered 4. They came last week, which was a bit of a relief because I was beginning to think I might have been diddled. The seeds are green and about the size of a pea and look like, well, peas. But they came in a box that was big enough to pack a small car in. Well impressed. Anyway, I put one in a pot on the window ledge in the toilet next to the air freshener and the rest are in the mud straight in the garden. Nothing's come up yet, but I'm well excited because I've never tried real live spaghetti before. Only the stuff in the packets. Mum says she's tried fresh spaghetti from M&S, but it's not going to be as fresh as mine, is it? I can't wait for her to try some. Hashtag well excited spaghetti blonde.
How can I put this? I think your mum might have to wait quite a long time, Hannah.
Yes, we'll send you a link to a fraud line where you can get some advice. Please don't try growing anything unusual without consulting an expert. I've got Nick on the line. Do we want to hear what he's been up to?
I suppose we have to. Hi, Nick! You haven't done anything wild and reckless, like hauling yourself into the 21st century and buying yourself a smartphone, have you?
No, of course not. Interestingly enough, I've become a bit of a lepidopterist. And no, that doesn't mean I study leopards. Butterflies. Butterflies. There are loads of different types and species, and identifying them is notoriously difficult. So, I'm invested in this book, The Reader's Digest Field Guide to Butterflies and Other Insects of Britain, because without it, I'd be totally lost. For example, did you know that the name of a large white butterfly is actually a large white, and a small white butterfly is called a small white? Likewise, if you see a butterfly with orange tips, it's called an orange tip. And if you see a cloudy yellow one, it's called a clouded yellow. Now, the blues are even more tricky. The most common sort of blue butterfly that you see in your garden is called a common blue. And if you see a bigger one, it's called a large blue, and a smaller one is called a small blue. So you see how complicated it is. Without this, I wouldn't know what I was looking at. Oh, excuse me, I've just seen another butterfly. What is it? Let's have a look. It's a sort of a speckled yellow one. Oh, and it's actually called a speckled yellow. You see, this book is brilliant. Everything's in there. Everything. What if I was to tell you last week that I saw a Camberwell beauty with a peacock sitting on a wall next to a Red Admiral when a small copper came along with a painted lady, ringlets, purple hair streak, and then along came a gatekeeper and they all went off to the speckled wood together? You wouldn't know what I was talking about, would you? But it's all in here. I've just named 10 species of butterflies. Brilliant. Actually, thinking about butterflies, that'd make a great story. I've got a good idea for a new play.
So now we know where Nick gets all his ideas from.
And talking of ideas, here's Pat with a good idea for winter cyclists. Hello, Pat. I hear you've modified your bicycle for snowy or muddy conditions. Would you like to tell us about it?
So I took the tyres off and I fitted a sort of tank track instead, which went around both wheels like a big elastic band. But it played havoc with my seat, because basically I was sitting on a moving belt sander, and it took the seat out of all my trousers, even though it made for an interesting ride. So I took that off and I fitted a couple of Mercedes van wheels that Pete had going spare instead. They were good and sturdy with plenty of grip, but my bike now looks like a motorbike, except it hasn't got a motor, which makes it very difficult to pedal. To be honest, I can't get it to budge at all.
Well, keep trying, Pat. The exercise will do you good.
Oh, and talking of exercise, I've got Mr. Keogh waiting in the wings.
But he doesn't do exercise, does he?
Well, apparently he does, and he's doing it now. Let's go live to Chelmsford.
Mr. Keogh, is it true you're exercising?
Yes, as you can see, I'm exercising on my sofa. I'm exercising my rights. And right now, I'm exercising my right to do absolutely nothing. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to watch Man United gain a few more points.
I don't think so. Even Grimsby Town might beat them.
In your dreams. I've got Lauren on the line and she's been doing some real exercising. Isn't that right, Lauren?
Yes, it is. I've been doing good work. I've been doing what they call jogging, yeah? I've been running around the streets and local parks, keeping fit and getting plenty of fresh air. And sharing my jog blog on social media, where my follower is so impressed, he told me I should start a marathon. So, yeah, I will.
Good on you, Lauren. You won't regret it. It's packed with peanuts and chocolate and all the stuff to give you that energy boost when you hit the wall.
Other brands of chocolate bar are available. She didn't mean that sort of a marathon. You must be Lauren's jog blog follower.
I didn't know I was the only one, did I? Hey, I go under the name The Jogster.
Well, our next guest certainly isn't short of followers. It's Darren, who I've heard has become a bit of a celebrity as a social media, TV and film critic and influencer.
Hello, Bing. I've got 2 words for you. Binge watching.
Did he say binge?
I hope so.
Yeah, that's right. I've been filling my time with films and with box sets. You know, Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, The Crown, yeah, and my personal favourite, which I know might come as a bit of a surprise to you. Come dine with me. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's got superb direction. I mean, it's got to be Spielberg or J.J. Abrams or Ang Lee, only without the CGI or the action set pieces. It's got great acting, amazing production values. Can you believe it? Different location in every single episode. It's got a wide range of costumes, interesting characters, good storylines, tension, humour, drama. We're all missing a bit of that these days, aren't we? And real food. I mean, it's a real treat. In fact, I'm so impressed by it that I've started doing my own version online with friends. Yeah, that's right. We do it virtually. We cook food and then we eat it in front of our screens while we watch each other. How mad is that, eh? Brilliant. Yeah. And to make it more realistic, we cook the dishes from the recipes that we send each other. Yeah. We don't cook what we want. We cook what they want. Yeah. Mad. Cooked a curry last week. Can't stand the stuff. And jerk chicken the week before that. Oh, and beef Wellington the week before that. I mean, that's impressive, eh? Yeah. So it goes like this, right? They email me a recipe, I download it, take a look, put on a face mask, safety first, pop down the shops and buy all the ingredients that I might need. Then I come back and I start preparing the dish from their instructions. Meanwhile, back at their end, they're doing the same thing, only with the recipe that I sent them. Now, I don't tell anyone, but I normally just copy the recipe out of a book. Can you guess whose? And no, it's not the hairy bikers. No. Jamie Oliver, Mary Berry, Delia, and Nigella Lawson. Yeah, they're my favourites. Anyway, then Saturday night, 8 p.m, we have a Zoom meeting and each of us eat the dishes that we prepared from the instructions that they sent us. Yeah, should we give it a go? Yeah, look, let me show you. So imagine that you had emailed me the recipe for me to make this. Yeah, look, here's one I prepared earlier. Yeah. So I might look at it and go, ooh, looks interesting. Wonder what it is. Even though, of course, I know what it is because I'm the one that's just prepared it, aren't I? and then I eat, so get a bit of that on there. And I like to, really go for it with all the facial expressions. I might be like, like, oh yeah, and then I might be like, oh, interesting. I wonder what's in this. That's an interesting flavour. Or I'll be like, now that is a nice plate of food. That is, or oh dear, that is just disgusting. That is, or I'm like, interesting. This tastes remarkably like a sort of strawberry flavour, and then you'll be like, well, that's because it is a strawberry flavour, and we will roll about laughing because, of course, I know it's a strawberry flavour. I'm the one that put the strawberries in it.
I think he's lost it. Who's next? Is it Gary?
Is he in a pub?
No.
Then I don't think it's Gary.
I think it is. Hello, Gary. Is that you? Not in a pub?
Hello, Bing. Hello, Bong. Yeah, it's me, Gary. No, I'm not in a pub. I'm in a bubble with my housemate. Yeah, do you know it's been 100 days since I've been in a pub? That's right, 100 days. Why is that, I hear you ask? Has he turned over a new leaf? No, it's because they're all shut, innit? Anyway, he's got me on this new drink. It's called Adam's Ale. Well, I call it tap water because it comes out of the tap in the kitchen, and it's free, and I can drink as much of it as I like. It's crazy. You know what? It doesn't taste of much, but he tells me it's a traditional drink that goes back hundreds of years, even more. It was first made by the monks who used to bottle it, but then it became so popular that the Romans created reservoirs full of it and they put it on tap. It's all made of natural ingredients from rivers and wells and ponds and things, and they mix it all together and create water. He puts it on his tea. I've seen him do it. He fills up the kettle and pours it on his tea bag. You know what? In the 1960s, when he was a lad, they created a new version called Sparkling. Yeah, sparkling water. Well, they would, wouldn't they? The swinging 60s. It was called Sparkling because it sparkled like diamonds. You know, like Lucy in the sky with diamonds. You know, LSD and drugs and all that. They was all high on sparkling water. He says you can still get it, but not on tap, in bottles. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. He says yes. Here, I think it's time for 4 o'clock. Any chance of another pint, mate? Cheers. He's gone. Thank God for that. I think it's now time for a proper drink. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. That's the stuff. That is good. Oops, he's back.
Cheers, Gary! He had me worried there for a minute.
Well, it's time to take a break now, but don't go anywhere because we've got more of your favourite Amdram faces coming up in a couple of minutes.
We certainly have, Bing. See you after the break.
Bing and Bong's Amdram updates are proudly sponsored by Emily's School of Motoring that literally drives you around the bend.
Hi, I'm Roxy Krasner, and I'll be back with the whole team very soon. In case you haven't been following along, here's what you've missed so far. Hello, J. Credit Card Investigating Agent Roxy Krasner, Secretary speaking. How may I help you? Gee whiz, did we really do all that? I can't wait to see what we get up to next. It'll be out of this world. Silly me, what am I saying? Of course it will. It's the case of the alien invasion.
Bing and Bong's Amdram updates are proudly sponsored by Emily's School of Motoring that literally drives you around the bend.
Welcome back. I must say that trailer looked good. Fantastic cast. Some of them look very familiar and very professional. I can't wait for it to come out.
Me neither.
And talking about not being able to wait, we have Lisa online, who's some exciting news about a new discovery and a sudden surge in self-confidence.
Yes, I have. As you know, in my day job, I'm a geologist, and I've travelled the world looking at rock and soil samples. Well, you never guess what I've discovered right here under my nose in a field in Essex. Kryptonite. Well, you know what that means, don't you? It's completely changed my life. I'm invincible. I'm going to wear the pink leotard that I wore in the Welsh job to play the bomb to Welling. A headband, cape and boots, and call myself the Pink Panther Girl. And neither Superman nor anyone else is going to stop me from doing whatever I want. With this kryptonite, I have the power. And with that power comes great responsibility. The only responsible thing you can do is say yes to all my demands. Or else you'll make me angry. And you won't like me when I'm angry. So you better tell Nick and Lindsay that I'm playing the princess in the next pantomime, or I'll be disappointed. And they really don't want that. The Pink Panther Girl is taking girl power to the next level. Understood?
Understood. I'll tell Lindsay when I see her. Doesn't she know that kryptonite only affects Superman? The rest of us are immune.
Yeah, we don't even need a vaccine for it. She'll be even more disappointed when she finds that out. And talking of disappointed, well, I've got Claire on the line. Go ahead, Claire.
What's all this about us not going to Welling for the drama festival this year? I was welling at Welling last time. You get well pampered there. They've got really helpful organisers. A nice man called Derek carried my costume from my car. I never did find my suspender belt, and I'm sure I packed it. Anyway, he showed me to the dressing room and he gave us tea bags and coffee and not a sign of a stopwatch anywhere. And then there was Sharon, who gave us a free programme and invited us to a free buffet on the last night. That's right, free. Sharon, if you're watching, I'd like to say thank you. Your vegan sausage rolls were brilliant. Made my fingers all lovely and greasy. It tasted just like proper meat with that fatty, gristly texture and a tiny bit of bone that got stuck between my teeth. You and Derek and the rest of the backstage crew made me feel like a proper actress. I mean, normally when we go to a drama festival, I'm like wandering down some corridor trying to find the stage and someone shouts, "We're out of loo roll and soap in the gents. Any chance of a refill?" I mean, do I look like the cleaner? It's not like that at Welling. They know how to treat you there. And they give you an hour to rehearse on the stage. A whole hour. Hey Chris, you like going to Welling, don't you?
Yeah, got a lovely Costa.
No, I mean the drama festival.
Oh yeah, that as well. Isn't that where that Derek bloke nicked your suspender belt?
He didn't nick it. It was just unfortunate that it went missing somewhere between my car and the dressing room while Derek was carrying it. That's all.
Welling. Isn't that where you won the Best Comedy Award for falling off the stage?
No, it was the Audience Appreciation Award, actually. But I think he only got that out of sympathy. And I only fell off the stage because Steve told me there was a 3-foot apron in front of the curtains.
It wasn't 3 feet. It was only about 3 inches.
I know that now, don't I? I was standing on the X that Steve Bunyan fella had put on the floor of the stage during our 1 hour rehearsal period. The curtains opened, I was blinded by the lights, stepped forward and crash landed into Mr. Roper's lap.
Who's Mr. Roper?
The bloke I sat on in the reserved seat in the front row. He still texts me every week. He loved it, wants to know if I'm going to do it again. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a friend of Steve's. I mean,
what are the chances of randomly falling off the stage into the lap of the only person sitting in the front 3 rows?
Yeah, even the adjudicator thought it was strange. He never mentioned your pace, pitch, pause, or dramatic achievement, or movement, nor your costume. Even though your stockings fell down because Derek nicked your suspender belt, all he said about was your opening line, about falling on hard times, which you delivered from that bloke's lap. It was rubbish.
Yeah, you're right. Who wants to go to Welling anyway? We're not appreciated. Let's give it a miss. I've still got that vegan bone stuck in my back molar. Oh, it's him again. Mr. Roper.
Give it here.
Thank you, Chris and Claire. We'll leave it there. Who's next?
I think it's Elliot.
A touch of star quality. Hello, Elliot.
Hello. Thank you for that introduction, which is very apt, because I've been watching the sky at night and thinking to myself, what are we doing here amongst the stars? Of course, I am no stranger to the stars. I remember once Larry saying to me, boy, he said, boy, well, I was a good few years younger then. Anyway, boy, he said, you will be what you will be. That's what he said. And he was right. Because now, a few years later, I am what I am.
You certainly are, and we love you for it, don't we, Bong?
We certainly do, Bing. You know, I looked up and saw a cluster of stars the other night. I think it was the Salmon Sisters.
I think you mean the 7 Sisters. Anyway, back home on planet Earth, we have Emma online who's interested in Darren's dining offer.
Go ahead, Emma. Do you have a special recipe to share with us today?
Yes, I do! Hello, Bing. Hello, Bong. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been very impressed with Darren's dining experiences, and I thought I'd like to share my version of a meal that I call break fast, or breakfast. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I say that it's so good that I have it every day. Let me talk you through it. First of all, we need 1 bowl and 1 dessert spoon, like so. Now, our first ingredient is a packet of pre-mixed dry cereals. And in this instance, I'm going to be using flakes of the corn, or cornflakes as it's more popularly known. But you can choose from a wide range of varieties in the cereals aisle at your local supermarket. Now, my next ingredient is 4 fluid ounces of cow's milk. Now, you can choose full fat, semi-skimmed, skimmed, oat, coconut, soya, almond, whichever you prefer. Now, watch carefully for this next part. First of all, we pour the ingredients from this beautifully designed, colourful box slowly into the bowl until it's about 1/3 full, like so. Next, we take our chosen milk and we pour in one continuous movement, like so. And then it's ready to serve immediately. Let's give it a try. Oh, delicious. It's so good. So simple, yet so satisfying. You've really got to try it sometime. It's really very original. What a find. Now, if you want to call me again tomorrow, then I will take you through another ingredient called wheat abix, which is compressed blocks of wheat, superbly packaged in a bright yellow box. Simply terrific.
Lockdown has affected us all in different ways, hasn't it, Bong?
It certainly has, Bing. and it's affected some people more than others.
Indeed it has. Well, I'm afraid our time is nearly up, but do join us again when we'll be hearing from June.
Hello. I'm going to show you how to make jewellery out of everyday items, and I want to pitch to direct a futuristic version of War and Peace. As a one act, perhaps we could take it to wedding next year?
I'm sure they'd be thrilled. We'd need a big cast, and I'm not sure we'd have Chris and Claire's support, but I'm sure we'd have Charlie's.
Hi. Could you tell Nick that no matter what he says, I'm still not going to play the sausage dog in next year's Panto. I want to be the princess, and Lisa in a pink leotard is not going to stop me. Okay? Okay. Anyway, back to the question. What have I been doing instead of drama? Well, I have been doing my own version of Shakespeare comedies on YouTube with my fruit and vegetable friends as the other characters. Here is Kate from Taming of the Shrew and Petruchio. Oh, we have Little Mustard Seed. There is Juliet and Romeo. We have Rosalind and Orlando. And where's Bottom? Oh, silly me. I think I ate him. And now I think I'm going to eat Romeo. Forsooth, nay. Please do not eat me. Please, please spare me, I beg of you. That's right, Romeo. Beg for your life. Now take your clothes off. Forsooth, nay. Please do not disrobe me so publicly. My modesty must be preserved. Oh, Romeo. Squirm, baby, squirm, for nothing can save you now.
Savage.
I think Lisa might have met her match. And we'll also be meeting Andrew.
Hi. I've become a twitcher. And a bird watcher. I can now identify a chicken. A real live one. I thought that they were bored and lived on plastic trays covered in cling film on supermarket shelves. And that the natural habitat of a free-range one was in an oven at 190 degrees. But now I know that they are actual birds with feathers and a head. Look at that! Amazing! But I read that they don't fly. So how can they be birds? I'm confused.
Oh, bless. I wonder if he knows where drumsticks come from.
The music room? Oh, let's not confuse him anymore.
Quite. Oh, I've got Elaine live from Kent, the Garden of England.
And I bet she's been gardening. Hello, Elaine. How's the garden coming on?
Well, I don't know. I've been too busy cooking. All of it totally inedible, of course.
And Mark.
Hi, good. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I on mute? So, oh wait, I'm not a pussycat again, am I? Hello? Hello?
Nothing personal, but I just don't want to hear all about his work. He's done nothing but work since we had to stop drama, poor chap.
Tell me about it. Oh, this could be interesting. Sue's on the line.
Hi. Actually, it's probably better if we don't have Sue on the show.
Really?
Yes, especially what happened last time.
Oh, that's a shame. I quite enjoyed that.
No, not at her age. She should have known better. And we're definitely not mentioning the other thing, okay? So, we've just got time for a shortened version of our regular weekly lockdown quiz, just to check that you've been paying attention. Are you ready? Here we go. Question 1. Which house number does Bill blame for the lake on the cricket pitch? And for a further point, why?
Question 2. How much did Hannah spend on seeds?
And question 3. Who allegedly stole Claire's suspender belt?
Tell Derek I want it back.
I'm afraid we must leave it there, as we have a final word from our sponsor. So we'll have the answers for you when we see you next time.
So until then, stay safe. We look forward to returning to drama and seeing you all again very soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bing and Bong's and Dram Updates are proudly sponsored by Emily's School of Motoring that literally drives you around the bend.